Hello everyone, it's Lindsay, and today I'm back with another unboxing of the newest collection from Creative Retreat Kits. I have the physical faith art box, some add-on goodies, some printables, lots of things to share with you all for the month of March. As always, I will have a blog post over on my blog as well to go along with the video so that you can see close-up photos of all the products. I also do color swatches of gelatos, paints, inks, Neocolor 2 grams, all that goodness. I do want to make a note because I've had some questions. When I swatch the distress colors, I usually just put up a swatch. I actually have one right here of the oxide inks. So the actual stamping inks, these ones here. And I just post oxide ink swatches, but those colors are pretty much the same across the color palette or across the collections for Tim Holtz's distress products. So even though I'm just listing oxide inks, that goes for sprays, paints, markers, all that goodness. There's a little bit of tone variance, but for the most part, you can just grab those colors from whatever mediums and use those. So I do want to make a note about that over on my blog. So I'll have all those colors as well as the Creative Retreat colors. They have lots of ink colors. If you weren't familiar with this, over in their shop, they have a mix of pigment and chalk inks. They both perform pretty much the same. But these ones are really nice because they are archival. So they are, once you heat set them, they are permanent. So you can watercolor over them, do all that goodness. The pigment ones do not bleed through the paper. I have found some of the chalk ones do have a tendency to bleed a little bit in certain Bibles. But the pigment ones for sure, you are good to go. And they are permanent when they are dry, which is really nice. So definitely take advantage of those color swatches I do. That way you can just get right into creating and maybe pick up a few new mediums to play with. So let's take a look at the collection here. So let's first talk about the faith art box. We have Just As He Said. The devotional content was written by Haley Mullins. As always, you get a little blurb about Haley here in the devotional content. And this one is going to be basically our Easter kit. It isn't a super focused in on Easter. So if you are, working on a different project and you want to hold on to this one, or you want to, grab this one and, you've got some other Easter things going on, this one will work just fine, either way. So we are looking at just an overview of that time where Christ dies and leaves the disciples. They kind of have those few days where they're like, oh, he promised he's going to come back, but, can we trust that he's going to come back? And that kind of in between space. And she's talking about the hope that we can hold on to with his promises that God has made, and that being the light in the times of darkness. And so those times that you're going through that might be difficult or unknown or, waiting for his perfect timing, we can hold on to the promises that God has given us. And that can be our light in those dark moments is kind of the theme of the devotional content this month. Really, really good. Very timely. It's kind of interesting to see. I'm doing a few unboxings today, filming a few, and to see this theme similar in a variety of different companies right now. And nobody talks to each other. These are all planned months ahead of time. And so it's kind of neat to see all those themes kind of line up and be kind of on track with each other, even though the kit contents are completely different. The styles are completely different. To see the devotional content that, God is using these companies to speak to his church and to, point you guys to areas in the Bible for us to study that are very timely with things that are going on in the world right now. So she's got some great devotional content. We've got plenty of Bible verses to study. So if you've already, are working through the death and resurrection part of your Bible, there are plenty of other options to journal in with this kit. You've got 5 reflection questions. Last month, I did my reflection questions in my growth journal. I thought I had it right here, but I don't. In my growth journal, that is over on the Creative Retreat channel. I will be doing the same thing for my reflection questions this month. It really made it convenient to have those answered in one place, but you can journal those in your Bible as well. So those just kind of help you engage with the devotional content. And then on the back side here, you just have a printed cardstock. So if you wanted to, make a photocopy of this for personal use only, and then die cut shapes or alphas or things like that out of this cardstock, it is super pretty. For those of you who live overseas, don't want to fuss with shipping, or maybe you have a lot of product and you don't need a whole bunch of kit items, they do also offer the devotional content in digital format as well. So you can purchase that file and then print it out, on whatever you want, and then just work through the devotional content and do your own artwork if you want to do that. So I love that they give you some options depending on what your journaling style is. So there is Just As He Said. And then here is a look at everything that comes in the box. We've got the 3x4 stamp set. Really beautiful floral imagery. I love when they do these florals like this. This is a lot of fun to stamp in a light color and then kind of messily paint over with acrylic paints and things like that, and then restamp in a darker ink, and it kind of fills in the flower. I will be showing that in a tutorial. I've done it several times on my channel before. But those are a fun way to color these in. Also, you'll notice that there's a lot of watercolor in the graphics. And so you could also do like a blobby watercolor and then stamp this over the top. So lots of different styles that you can do with the stamps, or just stamp and color. Keep it simple. Stamp them on pattern papers, fuss to cut them out and layer them together. So I really like there's a lot of open space in here that gives you some variety for how you color them in and use them. You've got a couple of different leaves. So you can kind of make little floral bunches and kind of change it up with just those 3 stamps, which is nice. You have Just As He Said, which is, of course, the title of the devotional. You've got Risen and True in this fun kind of handwritten font. His words are, and then He is. And you've got a little floral and then a little geo marker. Those are great for like identifying the verse. Maybe if you are working in a planner, these are great icons to use in your planner. So that is one thing I like about the Creative Retreat kits in their entirety, is the sizing really works well for whatever type of project that you're doing, whether you're working in a faith planner, working in a notebook, working in a regular Bible, a 2-inch margin journaling Bible, or if you want to, go crazy with mixed media and different mediums like that, then you could scale it up and work in an interleaved Bible. So really you can use them in a variety of different things, but because they're a little bit smaller, it allows you to use them in things like planners and stuff like that. So there is the stamp set. I do want to mention that these are great to mix and match with the other stamp sets from past kits. So I pulled out a couple. I will have these linked down below. These were 2 that I thought would pair really well with the kit this month. This was an Easter one from a couple years ago. I love these palm leaves that are in there. I think would be really fun to kind of pair with that. And then you've got some florals, and then the writing... the phrases and words, of course, are Easter and kind of go along with the theme of the kit. And then there's this one here, which is a similar style to this month. You'll notice that the lettering is very much the same. You've got some additional floral pieces. So if you wanted to build some bigger flower bunches, you could do that with this one here. So I will link both those down below as well. You can order those outside of the kit to coordinate with this kit if you wanted to do that. They are in stock. I did double check before I did the video. Okay, this is a new item and I am super excited about this. So we have been getting, bow clippies and what are some other things? Washi tape, enamel stickers. Those are usually kind of the add-on fun item that are in the kit. And that kind of changes month to month. And so Danielle, the owner of Creative Retreat, kind of jumped in with the creative team and asked us, what are some other things that we wanted to see? And I was like, stencils, please. I love the Creative Retreat stencils. They have their 3-pack of stencils. It comes with like, I think it's hearts, crosses, and diamonds. And that's the only stencils they've had. And so I thought these would be a lot of fun. So the kit comes with this stencil. I've kind of drawn it out on here so you can see what the stencil is. It is this leaf pattern, kind of similar to the leaf that is in the stamp set. And so this would be really fun to kind of plop some watercolor down and then kind of stencil in some defined lines over your watercolor. I've already been seeing some of the creative team posting in our little group their pages, and I'm so inspired by how they are using the elements from this kit and how they'll be using this stencil. And so I think you guys will have a lot of fun with this. This stencil is a really great quality. They are made in the US, which is really nice. Creative Retreat is working to get most of their products made here in the US. So I know us in the US, we take pride in that and having things made here in our country. And so that's super exciting for us. And so these are a nice quality stencil. They are thick enough that you don't have to worry about it being misshapen or, especially with leaves and things. Sometimes you can like kind of catch things and bend things as you're using the stencil. You don't have to worry so much about this because it is a nice quality, but it's still flexible. And that's something that's really important to me when I'm getting stencils for Bible journaling in particular. I like a different type of stencil for Bible journaling than I do for any other project because I don't have my Bible right here, but when you open up your book, you have a little bit of a curvature to the Bible page. And so to get the best impressions with your stencils, you want your stencil to be able to kind of form to the page. And if they're too stiff, you can't do that. And so it's hard to get a good impression. So if they are flexible, you can kind of flex it to the page and really get a good stenciled impression. So I do have a Tip Tuesday specifically for stencils, talking about different products and different tips and tricks for using things like acrylic paint and even watercolor and gelatos and things like that through a stencil and give you the best results. So I will link that Tip Tuesday down below if you want some tips for how to use stencils, but this will be the fun little goodie that comes in the kit is this leaf stencil. I love that. And then of course you've got your stickers. So you've got your 2 alpha sheets, again, because they are producing in the US now, they've changed their manufacturers. They're now able to offer 2 sheets of the alphas instead of just the one, which is really nice. This one is so fun. This is one of my favorite fonts from Creative Retreat when they do this kind of sans serif, a little bit smaller of a font. We have it in this, it matches their waterfall blue ink. It's kind of a minty bluish green and then a yellow, perfect as we're going into Easter and spring, kind of getting those fun lighter spring colors. You've got, it's the same font, same alphas, just different colors, no numbers, just alphas. You do have some ampersands and punctuation. You have several of each letter and there's some additional of the vowels, which is really nice. Don't be afraid to cut things apart. If you're running out of certain letters, I like to use the exclamation marks as L's, cutting things and making things into P's and Q's, or, as you need them, that kind of thing. Don't be afraid to kind of cut apart and mush up your letters to make them work for you and stretch them or mix and match with past kits as well. So you get 2 sheets of those. You get this sheet with the word Fetty. So here's a look at the color palette for the kit. It's a mix of a serif font and then this fun kind of hand lettered font in there as well. All words that go along with the devotional content. And then you'll see the beautiful watercolor florals throughout the kit. So you've got some watercolor florals here and some little leaf elements that you can add in there and kind of build up your bouquets. You've got some other like tabs and circles. I like this come and see piece is really cute. Of course, some wonky hearts. Creative Retreat's kind of known for that. That's kind of their signature piece there. And then usually we get little circles with hearts, but this month we're getting circles with little mini flowers inside them. And then just as he said, which is the title of the kit. So there's a look at the stickers. And then your little freebie is this button here with the word risen. These are great for adding on to your bow clippies. I get lots of questions about how to use these in your Bible journaling. So I add them to my bow clippies. You can also add them to the front of your Bible if you've got a Bible cover, a book bag. They're just kind of an add-on flair item that you can take your Bible journaling outside of your Bible and use it in some different areas. Maybe pass it on to your kiddos to put on their lunchbox or something like that would be super fun. So there's a look at everything that comes in the kit. Again, you can get the devotional kit as a digital item as well. And then this is the physical box. And then they have an additional add-on item. So since they did the stencil, the kit includes the leaf stencil, but you have this floral stencil as an add-on that you can purchase as well. And so this pairs, of course, beautifully with the leaf. I went ahead and just kind of sketched them out so you can see what these stencils are. So that's going to be that same floral piece as the floral that you see throughout the graphics there. And again, really pretty to kind of plop some watercolor and then use this to do some defined edges. I know you're going to be seeing tons of different ways to use these from the team. We're all kind of excited about these stencils, so you'll probably be seeing tons of these. I've already been seeing some beautiful entries with these. So this is an add-on item in the shop that you can get to coordinate with the kit. And then they also have a new set of faith-filled digitals. So this is something they started a few months ago, adding some additional digital items to go along with the kit. So if you live overseas overseas, you're not wanting to do the shipping costs and things like that, this is a great option. So you can order the devotional kit as a digital or the devotional as a digital option, and then get these digital files. So the digital file comes with 4 different pages of printables. You can print these on whatever medium that you want. You can resize them. You know, if you are handy with Photoshop or even Silhouette Studio, Design Space, those are great ways to kind of resize things, group things differently. Of course, only for personal use. Don't be doing this and then selling it or giving it to people. But it allows you to kind of have unlimited supplies as you work through the devotional content. So you do get the 4 pages. This one here has ephemera items, very similar to the stickers. The color palette is the same. However, there is a little pop of, I think, a brighter blue in the printables and a little bit more of a green to this color there, but you've got some of the same phrases, but then there are some additional items. There's some faux washi, some more circles and icons and things like that. So if you are getting the physical kit, you can get the digitals as well and don't have to worry about too much overlap or doubling up. So there is that one here. You've got one of the verses. That's really fun. Some journaling spots, labels, things like that. This page has an alpha. This one, you can either cut out these alphas. Maybe you want to do them as tiles, so just cut them as little squares. If you've got a silhouette or a Cricut or a Brother Scan and Cut, you could cut these out. You can use a circle punch, a hexie punch, lots of different things. If you are tech savvy and comfortable using Photoshop, you can pull this font or pull this page in there and then pull it apart and create your own words and phrases directly in there and then print them out, just depending on what your skill level is. So there gives you an additional alpha with some numbers as well. And then you have a grid pattern down here just to use as a pattern paper element kind of layered behind things. You could maybe layer your alphas on there if you wanted to. So just a fun kind of page to do whatever you want with, depending on what your skill level is. You have this sheet of journaling cards. So you get 6 3x4 cards. Love this one. This is really pretty. This would be a good inspiration for a background to do with some acrylic paints. I like that there is a mix of, ones that you can do some journaling on. You can stamp on them, add stickers, dress them up, or just use them as is. If you are a pocket scrapbooker, if you're doing Project Life, these are great for that as well. If you're working in a faith binder, I try to take these when I'm working through the kit and use the kit in a variety of different projects that I'm doing throughout the month. Put your product to use. We pay for it, so let's, put it to use. So don't be afraid to use this outside of Bible journaling. This could be used for scrapbooking and things like that as well. Card making. I like this. His word is truth. And again, you can resize these and print them as much as you want. And then you have this page of beautiful florals. So now I did print this on white cardstock. I always link the printer and the paper that I use down below for you guys because I do get questions about that. But this one would be pretty printed on clear sticker paper as well, because then you could kind of roughly cut these out and then stick them down on your page and they'll just blend right in with the paper and look like you watercolored directly on the page without all the fuss and the mess. Again, you can resize these, scale these. I do have some videos I'll link down below talking about how to kind of manipulate printables in a few different programs on the computer, paid and free. So I'll link those down below. So there's a look at the Faith-Filled Digitals. They do also release a free digital item later on in the month. It is separate from these ones here. That used to only be available in the Facebook group and now is available to everybody. So check out the shop around. Last month, we even got an additional mini devotional. I'm not sure if there's plans for that this month as well. But, periodically pop into the shop because she's always putting new things in there, which is super exciting, as well as new ink colors and things like that. So there is a look at the Just As He Said devotional kit, as well as the other coordinating products with the release. Check out my blog post for close-up photos and those color swatches. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave those down below. I will be sharing over on the Creative Retreat YouTube channel. That's where I do my process videos. And so if you're wanting to see how I use the products this month, be sure to go follow Creative Retreat over on YouTube. Check out the description box for all the links that I mentioned. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. And until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.